Good day. Welcome to our subject, Industrial Motor Control. Today, I will just simply introduce to you the instructional map that we will be using while you are doing the actual connections. But if you are going to use this instructional map or device, this is only for you to interpret the diagram. Meaning to say, you will be given a diagram and then you will interpret the diagram through this instructional device. Okay? And then of course, you are doing the actual connections, and at the same time, you are going to energize your work to a 220 volt source. So precaution, every time you connect live wires or having the current, having the power, you always save yourself first. Don't ever forget the two ABCs of safety. First is always be careful, and then the second is avoid being careless. Okay? So every time you will connect this instructional device, no, of course, the last connection will be your source. So after checking all the diagrams, after checking all the connections by using your continuity tester, the VOM tester, then if you think that it is okay, there is no short circuit, then that's the time that you will energize. Now remember, you are also using here an alligator clips. This one serve as your connecting wire. Okay? So, well, if there is short circuit, this can be easily cut because this is only number 16, no? Or number 18. So, it seems that this is already a fuse. Now, we have here an instructional device, no? This is, there are so many connections that you can apply here. First, you can apply the magnetic across the line, one station. You can also have this magnetic across the line with jog. You can also connect here magnetic across the line with dynamic brake. Okay. At the same time, you can connect this one. You can connect forward reverse for three-phase motor and forward reverse for single-phase motor. Okay. Now we have here the magnetic contactors. You will notice that we will be using this as your forward reverse. So you will also observe that we are using the same magnetic contactor. Meaning to say this is identical. So the model is MUF20. So the other one is MUF20. So how many main contacts here? Auxiliary contacts, the same here. Okay, and then you have your overload relay. Now remember, the overload relay, this is already considered as your power circuit. Okay, this is already your power circuit. So we have here the power circuit for single phase. No, we have here the power circuit for single phase. So of course, I am using only single phase circuit breaker. Okay, so if I'm going to connect this to control a forward reverse single phase motor, then this is now the power circuit. In our previous videos, I told you that the control circuit for forward reverse used in three-phase and single phase are the same. So you will be using the same. If you want to reverse a single phase or three-phase, you will use the same control circuit. But if that is single phase, this would be the power circuit. Then for three-phase, there is also another power circuit. Okay? But remember, the purpose here is just to reverse the direction of your motor, meaning the rotor. Okay? Then we have also here the brake make push button, meaning to say double contact. So you have normally open and normally close. You have here. So green, this will represent the start button, either forward or reverse. And then we have here the stop button. Then you will notice the stop button, we will always use the normally close. While in the start button, we will be using always the normally open. Then we have also here the lamps. No, I am using only the neon lights. I'm not using the transformerized diagram, I mean transformerized lamps. So we have here the, well, you can use this can be a power, this will be forward, this is reverse, this is your trip lamp, no? It depends. Then you have here the connections, you have the line 1, line 2. And then you have also here the power circuit. Okay, so this portion here, this one, magnetic contactor number 1, this is intended for forward, where the control, I mean the overload relay is connected. So if you will convert this into diagram, I mean into symbols, this will be the one. So here in this portion, considering that this is your power side or source, so you have your line 1, line 2, line 3. Then if you will also review the magnetic contactors, I give you the what we call the terminal marks, no? So if that is line 1, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So if you happen to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, meaning to say that contacts are main contacts. Okay? And then you have here the heater. And this heater is coming from the overload relay. And then in the overload relay, there are what we call overload contacts. So you have your overload contacts here, no? You have your the common, you have the below here normally closed and normally open. Meaning to say this is your 95, this is your 96, and this is your 98. So you better review your terminal mark of your magnetic starter. Okay? And then of course, you have here the load side. So where you will connect your motors, no, single phase or three phase. Now, by the way, if you will use single phase, then of course you will still be using the same contactor, no? Then you can condemn any of these three. But usually we condemn the middle contact. Why? So there is a distance between line 1 and line 2, no? There's a distance. But if you prepare to have line 1 and line 2, well, it's okay. The same. It's okay. And then you have your normally closed here. Normally closed. Now this is for one contactor in this forward. So you have your normally closed, then you have also normally open. Auxiliary contact. So in the auxiliary contacts, you have 13, 14, then you have your 21, then 22. So in the other side, you have also the contact arrangement for forward reverse contactor, this one. Okay? So you have your normally open, meaning to say the main contacts. Consider that this is identical, so you have the same markings. Then the normally closed and the normally open auxiliary contacts. While in this portion here, this is your overload contact taken from the overload relay. So you have here the overload contact, no? Then you have here the common is 95, normally closed is 96, and then the normally open is 98. Now remember that the magnetic starter is useless, no? If the overload delay is already defective. So if the overload delay is defective, still you can use the magnetic contactor, but that is only to start and stop, to run the motor or to off the motor. But whenever there is an overload occur, no, in your motor, considering that the overload delay is already defective, then there's a tendency that the motor windings might be burned. So see to it that the overload contact is still good, no, always good. Check it first, because this is the one that will protect your motor from overloading. Okay, and then we have here also the holding coil, the E1 and E2 for magnetic contactor number 1 or for forward, and then you have also the another one magnetic coil for reverse. So this is 220 volt magnetic contactors. Then you can use this magnetic starter. So there are already many connections that I give you, many diagrams, no? Then those diagrams can be connected here. Okay, can be connected here. So this is a very good instructional device for you to connect magnetic starter. Okay, so if you want to connect this, no, if you want to connect this, then you may apply to this motor, I mean Mac-up. Now, every time I will give you the diagram, of course, I'm going to demo, no, so that you will really see how it is operated, and then how it is connected in this diagram, in this mock-up. But remember, this is only to interpret the diagram. This is not yet the real connections of magnetic starter. So if you want to connect a real magnetic starter, in our group chat, I send some pictures there, the actual installation of magnetic contactors or magnetic starter. So please look at our group chat and then try to look all those pictures so that are properly installed. In fact, some of those pictures were taken in the new College of Technology building, technology building. You can actually see there the actual connections of magnetic starter. Only if this pandemic is gone, will be gone. So that is it. So don't be satisfied if you already connect all the diagrams using this instructional mock-up. Don't be satisfied because this is not actually the what we call the actual installation or actual connections. So after connecting this, then you are already familiar with the diagrams. Then I will give you the magnetic contactors, the overload relay, the push button, the overload relay, and then you will put that in DIN reel. This aluminum here, this one. This is your DIN reel where you will place your magnetic contactor. Then you will connect the actual connections. Of course, you're now going to use your screwdriver, the flat or the Phillips screw. And then don't ever forget that you should have a wire stripper. I already introduced those tools in the previous video, so kindly review it. So you will know what are the basic tools used in connecting or installing magnetic starter. So please take note of all those things. So this video is just to introduce to you the mock-up that we will be using, and then of course that is also this is also a lecture or instruction. Again, there was one instructor asked me, "Sir, how about their actual?" So I told them, well, I'm going to demo the connections, then I will let them see how it is done, then how it operates. But of course, maybe it is only 50% learning because they don't have yet the actual connections. So if this pandemic will not be gone within this year, or if not, if the semester ends, still the pandemic is around, then of course they don't have the actual. But considering that there is still first year, there is still third year, there is still a year, if the pandemic is gone, though they already finished taking the subject, but they are still allowed to go to our laboratory and connect the actual. Anyway, we can schedule. We can schedule. If you are interested to connect magnetic starter, then please do the actual connections. Even we are done or we are through with our subject. I will assure you, by looking only this one and then without doing the actual, still you have a 50% or maybe 30% absorbment of your lessons. So I am encouraging all of you to please connect the actual. Okay? Ladies or gentlemen, you better connect. Considering if you are a lady, then do not say that you are not interested because you are a lady. This is not a type of job you want. But considering that you are taking the subject AMT or ATM or automotive mechanical, then you are encouraged to connect this magnetic starter. Okay? So take note, take note. If you want to learn, then you do the actual. Okay? So just tell me. Anyway, we have our lab tech. Then you can also ask them the materials that you need to be used. Okay? Ano sa? Okay. Now, remember, I handle 5 sections. In fact, that is 6, no? 6 or 5. One for the master's degree, and then there are 3 for EMT, electromechanical, and then there is what we call 1 for mechanical. So those are the sections that I handled. Now you will also observe that I group you. The class is being grouped into how many? There are, I said there are 8 members in every group. But sometimes you don't like those members. Then in our group chat, you said nga, dili mo pwede magbulag. Then I don't want that, no? This time, pagbulag lang sa mo. So, only 8. But if you tend to have 7, you have 6, you have 5, it's okay. But the number that we have, mao lang ito siya. Why? Because if ever the administration will allow us to let you go to our laboratory, then you will be there by group, not all of you. So I will assign, maybe Monday, one group will go to my laboratory shop, then you will all the actual. Then there will be another group in the one group in the morning, then another group in the afternoon. So every day we have 2 groups, no? So you will stay there for 4 hours to connect some of these connections if the administration will allow us to go there. But as of this moment, we are not allowed. And in fact, I also encourage you to come to our house, of course, with your waiver, well, permission from your parents through waiver. But you are not forced to come, and then that is not compulsory. Even the administration never encourage us to invite students to go to their instructor's house. No, they are not. But this is only our initiative because we are really want you to learn, especially doing the actual activities. But because of this pandemic, that's why we are not all allowed. But if ever we have a chance to do connection, you can go to our school, then that would be the time that you can do all actual. Now, you don't need to worry when it comes to learning. Why? Because we have plenty of instructional devices for industrial control. Then we are in fact happy. We have our donors, no? We have our former student from the different companies in the city or in this province of Misamis Oriental. Then we try to solicit for us help from them, from their company. That is why before the pandemic, no, they brought those instructional or those materials in our school. Then of course, I try to segregate those new one, those old one, surplus. Then we try to condition all those magnetic contactors. Not only that, even post buttons, limit switch, overload relays. Then there are also some lamps, circuit breakers. So those are the materials that they donated in our school. So we are so very lucky because we are also using, or the alumni of the institution assisted us, no, in having all these instructional devices. Because as of now, we cannot depend on the budget of the school, because instructional devices for the meantime is not a priority. So it is now the initiative of all instructors on how to provide instructional devices. That is why even myself, I encourage all my co-instructors to fabricate our own instructional devices. So we cannot actually depend the admin to provide all those things what we want. Huh? But of course, they are also providing. Actually, they allocated millions of pesos to purchase all those equipment that you can see in the engineering as well as in technology, all the colleges. But in our case, no, we never have it. So we try to do our initiative. to have all these instructional devices. So we just simply praise God for this. Now God is really supported our classes, and then of course you should be also diligent in your study. Okay, so don't even forget your group, because that would be your group until final. Now remember, there are some requirements to be asked from you, particularly a compilation of all the diagrams that I presented. You have to put that in a folder and then submit it to me. So maybe only one will go to the school and then submit that requirement, because that is also one way for you to let you know on how to make diagrams. Okay? So please study it. Please study it. And then do not depend in your instructor. You can, I said, you can also open other reference like books, YouTube, no, and other reference for you to learn more about industrial control. Now, what I am giving you are only basic, no, basic. So you should be good in the foundation, no, foundation in knowing the basic knowledge about industrial control. Okay, so that's all for this video. Then I hope that you learned something this morning. Then I would like you to please like, subscribe, and share our video so that others also may see, learn our lesson. Thank you, and God bless us all.